the southwest of WA. It's wild, it's raw, and it's packed with places that make you stop and go, wait, how is this real? From climbing giant trees to swimming with stingrays, natural rock spas to one of the longest jetties in the world, this corner of Australia is seriously underrated. So here are 10 things you need to do in WA's southwest. Let's hit the road. One, walk the Busselton Jetty. At 1.841 kilometres long, the Busselton Jetty is the longest wooden piled jetty in the Southern Hemisphere. Construction began in 1864 to help load timber onto ships, and over the years it was extended more than 30 times before reaching its final length in the 1960s. It was officially closed to shipping in 1972, but thanks to community efforts, the jetty was saved from demolition and transformed into a major tourist attraction. Today, you can walk the full length or take the electric jetty train if you're short on time. At the end, you'll find an underwater observatory that descends 8 meters below the surface, giving you a glimpse into the marine life of Geograph Bay without getting wet. There's also a museum, cafe, and interpretive signage along the way, so it's more than just a walk, it's a window into Busselton's past. 2. Explore Lake Cave, Margaret River. Lake Cave is one of the most impressive and accessible limestone caves in the Margaret River region. It's the only cave in the area with a permanent lake inside, and that mirror-like water reflects the crystal formations above, creating a surreal underground scene. To reach the entrance, you'll descend a dramatic sinkhole staircase surrounded by towering karri trees. The guided tour takes you 62 meters below the surface, where you'll see stalactites, stalagmites, and the cave centerpiece, the suspended table, a massive calcite formation hanging just above the lake, appearing to float. The cave was first opened to the public in 1901, and its delicate features have been carefully preserved. Tours run daily and include plenty of geological and historical insight from passionate local guides. If you're only visiting one cave in the region, make it this one. 3. Discover the Margaret River coastline. Margaret River isn't just about wine. Its coastline is wild, rugged, and full of hidden gems. Start with the aquarium, a sheltered rock pool near Yallingup with crystal clear turquoise water. It's not signposted, but the short hike in is worth it for a swim in this natural saltwater pool surrounded by granite boulders. Next, head to Injured Natural Spa, a rock formation where waves crash through a narrow gap, creating a swirling, spa-like pool. It's best visited when the swell is moderate, strong enough for the effect, but not too dangerous to swim. Just be careful on the rocks, they can get slippery. Then there's Canal Rocks, a series of long granite channels shaped by thousands of years of ocean swell. A wooden boardwalk lets you walk over the top, where you can watch waves surge through the canals below. It's especially dramatic at sunset. Each spot is close to the next, making it easier to see all three in one day, and each offers a completely different take on the region's coastline. 4. Visit the stingrays at Hamelin Bay. Hamelin Bay is famous for one thing, the wild stingrays that cruise the shoreline, often right up to your ankles. These stingrays, some with wingspans over 2 meters, gather near the boat ramp and old jetty remains, especially in the mornings or when fishers are cleaning their catch. They're smooth, calm, and used to human presence, making it a rare chance to see them up close in the wild. You're allowed to wade in the shallows, but it's important to respect the rays. Don't touch, don't chase, and move slowly. They're gentle, but they're still wild animals. Aside from the stingrays, the bay itself is stunning. Clear water, white sand, and often barely a soul around. It's a simple stop, but one of the most memorable. 5. Climb the Dave Evans Bicentennial Tree in Pemberton. This isn't your average lookout. The Dave Evans Bicentennial Tree stands 75 meters tall and was once used as a fire lookout. Today, you can climb it, using nothing but a spiral of metal pegs hammered into the trunk. Originally pegged in 1988, the tree was one of 3 used by forestry workers to spot bushfires in the vast karri forests. While 2 are now closed to climbers, this one remains open for the brave. There's no harness, no ropes, Just you and a few hundred pegs and a lot of nerve. At the top, a viewing platform offers sweeping views over the forest canopy. It's not for the faint-hearted, but if you can handle heights, it's one of the most unique climbs in Australia. 6. Walk among giants in Denmark. Deep in the Walpole Nornalup National Park, the Valley of the Giants is home to some of the tallest trees in the world, the ancient red tingle trees. The highlight here is the Treetop Walk, a 600-metre-long elevated walkway that rises 40 metres above the forest floor. It sways slightly as you walk, giving you a bird's-eye view of the treetops, some of which are over 400 years old. Back on the ground, the Ancient Empire Walk takes you through the base of these massive trees, including hollowed-out trunks big enough to stand inside. It's peaceful, educational, and a great way to experience the scale and age of WA's southern forests without needing to climb anything this time. 7. Swim at Green's Pool and explore Elephant Rocks. Located in William Bay National Park, just outside of Denmark, Green's Pool is one of the most iconic swimming spots in WA's southwest. It's a sheltered bay protected by a ring of granite boulders, which keeps the waves out and the water calm, making it perfect for swimming, snorkeling, or just floating around. Just a short walk from there is Elephant Rocks, where huge rounded boulders rise out of the sand and water like a herd of elephants wading through the ocean. You'll reach it via a narrow gap between rocks that opens onto a small beach. It's one of the most photographed spots in the region. Both places are best viewed on a sunny day, when the water glows bright turquoise, and even in winter, the scenery alone makes it worth the stop. 8. Walk the Albany Wind Farm Coastal Trail. Just 12 kilometers out of Albany, the Albany Wind Farm isn't just a renewable energy site, it's also home to one of the most scenic coastal walks in the southwest. There are 18 massive turbines here, each over 100 meters tall, positioned along the cliffs overlooking the Southern Ocean. A network of walking trails weaves between them, offering panoramic views of the rugged coastline, Torndirrup National Park, and even whales during the migration season. The Bibbulmun Track also passes through this area, so you can link into longer hikes if you're keen. The wind here is no joke, but that's what makes this place such a powerful spot, both literally and visually. You don't need to walk far to get great views, but if you do the full loop, allow about 30 to 45 minutes. 9. Explore the rock pools at Prevelly and stay for sunset. Just outside Margaret River, Prevelly sits where the river meets the sea, and it's home to some hidden coastal spots worth lingering at. Head to the Surface Point area, then walk the nearby coastal tracks and limestone cliffs. Along the shoreline, you'll find natural rock pools that fill with seawater at low tide, some deep enough to sit in and soak while watching the waves roll in beyond. The area is best explored when the tide is low and the swell is calm. It's not as well known as Injured Up or the aquarium, which makes it feel a bit more local and laid back. And don't rush off, sunset here is stunning, especially if the sky lights up behind the silhouetted cliffs and surfers catching the last waves of the day. Bring a towel, some snacks, and settle in. 10. Taste the Southwest, wine, beer, and chocolate. No trip to WA's Southwest is complete without sampling its local flavours. The Margaret River region is world famous for its wine, especially Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay. With over 90 cellar doors, you can build your own tasting trail or join a guided tour if you don't want to drive. But it's not just wine. There are award-winning craft breweries, small batch distilleries, and artisanal chocolate and cheese shops scattered across the region. Some standout stops include Vas Felix or Lewin Estate for premium wines, Colonial Brewing Co. or Beer Farm for casual drinks and food trucks, Temper Chocolate or the Margaret River Chocolate Company if you've got a sweet tooth. Most venues are set in beautiful bush or vineyard settings, so it's just as much about the atmosphere as it is the tasting. It's the perfect way to slow down after all the exploring and stock up on a few goodies before heading home. That's 10 things to do in WA Southwest. But honestly, we could have made this list twice as long. The region is packed with hidden corners, wild coastline, and spots that make you want to stay just a bit longer. Whether you're road tripping for a weekend or spending a few weeks down here, take your time, explore the detours, and don't just tick boxes. And if we missed one of your favorites, drop it in the comments. We're always looking for new places to check out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.